Okie dokie, I believe we are all the way live. Hello and welcome to my graveyard. I am your host of the evening, the Cemetery Man from Salem, Mass. Always taking names and kicking candy ass, live in the color here with you on Grande's Graveyard. And happy December, everybody. We are here. We are live in the living color and flesh, if you will. And man, they do say it's the most wonderful time of the year, but your boy here, John Grande, man, he is stoked. This is my favorite goddamn month of them all. Of course, it's the final month. It's my birth month. It's the month of Christmas. It's the month that we hop on the graveyard and we talk all things Christmas horror. So tonight, we're going to do just that. I'm going to be watching all things Christmas horror this entire month and discussing them on the show. I got two awesome selections this week. We got both of them from 1980, celebrating their 40th anniversaries, coincidentally. I didn't plan that at all. I just figured, why not do two like kind of obscure ones? I'm going to try to do more obscure ones that people, don't know as, much as a Black Christmas or a Silent Night, Deadly Night. Granted, we will be doing those. We will be doing Silent Night, Deadly Night as well, and Black Christmas. Don's going to come on for that one. And Silent Night, Deadly Night, we're going to probably do a fan commentary. So I'm really looking forward to that. December also means it's time for one very, very awesome thing. Oh, we got plenty of people already in the graveyard. What's going on? Gidalmer, happy birthmas. Not yet. 23rd, babe. 23rd. Month of 11 and 0, too. Oh, bro. I'm rocking it right now, brother. And I'm also rocking because it's the most wonderful time of the year. I don't always drink eggnog, but when I do, it's Hood Golden Eggnog, motherfuckers. We got eggnog on the graveyard, and it's time. It is eggnog time, yo. We got the cup. We got the red cup. I'm gonna put it on. This is pretty fire. This is strong eggnog. Like it's ultra pasteurized, whatever that means. I don't know, but I'm gonna pour some on camera here. Oh yeah, look at that action going. Oh, we're gonna go to 3/4 cup. 3/4 cup. It's always Gucci Poochie. I've already drank almost this entire fucking thing today. I promised myself I'd save some for the show, so I had to be rocking the eggnog, baby. Neon Black Reviews is in the hazy. Neon Black Reviews. I actually watched your review of Christmas Evil, and because I watched the movie, and I usually like to watch reviews after. And I love Neon Black's reviews, so go over and check his channel out. He puts out some great stuff. I was lucky enough to check out his review of Christmas Evil. That's the second movie we'll be talking about here tonight. So, but I do have my eggnog. So I don't know if any of y'all at home have eggnog or Coke or whatever, but cheers because it's eggnog time, yo. Oh my God, that's fucking good. That tastes like melted birthday cake batter, and it's icy cold, man. This is some good nog. Oh my God. All right. I'm sorry. I'm spoiling myself. I'm a big eggnog guy. I'll wipe away the stash. Before I get into the movies of the topic of the evening, I got a Black Friday package in the mail, and yeah, I cheated a little bit. I'm sorry. I'm one of those people. I'm a cheater. Ben Grimm's in the Heezy too. What's going on, Ben Grimm? Good brother. Hope all is well with you, man. Happy December. I hope you got some eggnog tonight because I got a ton of it. Well, granted, I've already drank a ton of it, but Barnes and Noble did that awesome 50% off Criterion sale, and I got in on this shit, man. This is Funny Games from 1997. This is awesome. This is one of the scariest movies ever made. In my opinion, it is the scariest movie ever made. Also got my buddy a birthday gift because it was 50-50. So I got, 150 and the other 150. So I was like, yo, hit up my boy for his, Christmas gift. Hit him up. Amanda Rodriguez in the hazy. Give me the eggnog. Amanda, there ain't no goddamn eggnog left. It's like here. It's like here. It's maybe a drop. I don't know. But yo, this is some fire ass eggnog. Ultra pasteurized golden. And it is. It's like yellow eggnog. I thought eggnog was usually like white, It doesn't, it's not that eggnog that smells really. It's kind of just, it's thick, man. It's thicker than a Snicker, but it's good. Holy shit. This carton doesn't stand a chance. It doesn't stand a chance, motherfuckers. But it's really good. But yeah, man, I was stoked to get in on that deal because I love Criterion stuff. Like I've been buying their shit like crazy. When they do 50% sales, and I'm like, yo, I get one of these blues for 20. Had to dabble on this one. I hadn't unboxed it. It's funny, I got it in the mail like last week, but I hadn't unboxed it till now. So I figured, why the hell not do it on camera for the show? Also got in on the other two sales. Vinegar Syndrome did one. and I got the new Madman. But well, it wasn't completely new, but I got Madman on Blu-ray for $12. Can't beat that. And I also got Bloody Moon, a Jess Franco joint, baby, from 1981, I want to say, and that was from the other sale. What the hell was the other site in this sale? It was Vinegar Syndrome, and I think it was Severin. I got the other one from Severin. So cool. Added another Video Nasty to the collection. Thought that was awesome. I haven't gotten them in the mail yet, so unfortunately, nothing to unbox here. Actually, Vinegar Syndrome sent us an email today saying like your shit's not coming for a while. But for $12, Madman, I will wait till fucking the end of the season. Like I don't give a shit. Aiden Vavers in the Heezy, what's going on, good brother? Hope all is well with you. Happy December, man. Cheers to you. Cheers to eggnog time, yo. Gotta have the eggnog here on December nights. Oh man, but yeah, Santa hat too. I'm chilling like a villain with my Santa hat. Yeah, man. I don't know. I'm just figuring, why the hell not? We're talking all things horror, Christmas horror, December horror. It's gonna be a fun ass night. I show prepped on Monday. Took the day off of work. It was really nice, therapeutic. Cleared my head. Slept till 1 o'clock, and I fucking watched these two movies back to back, banged them out, and I did a lot of my homework on these ones, so they're pretty fresh in my head. And I guess we can jump on right in to the first flick of the evening. I always like to read the plot synopsis when I'm solo dolo like this, so I will do just that. First flick comes to us from a horror legend, one of my favorite all-time actors in one, David A. Hess. Yes, from Last House on the Left, movies like Hitchhike, movies like Body Count, movies like House on the Edge of the Park, and only one time in his career did he take the director's chair, and it was for this film from 1980. It is David Hess's To All a Good Night. Yes, starring Jennifer Runyon, who obviously went on to be in Ghostbusters in that classic scene with Bill Murray and the sidekick stuff. But I figure I'll read a plot synopsis. I'll give you a little bit of what the movie is about, and I give you my thoughts on it. So, To All a Good Night, a group of teenagers at a party find themselves being stalked by a maniacal killer in a Santa Claus costume. Yes, so a little reminiscent plot of Black Christmas. So I know it's a little bit along those lines, man. But I gotta say, I had some fun with this movie. I kind of enjoyed this movie. Kind of a guilty pleasure, kind of trashy, kind of sleazy slasher cinema. But wouldn't you expect that from David Hess? Like that, to me, that's exactly what I expected. And I kind of got exactly what I expected. Like, first off, I guess we can run through this. The characters in this movie, not much. Like, it's pretty much a sorority of girls who plan to drug their, like, sorority mother so they can have all these guys come through. They fly through on a fucking jet. Believe it or not, they come through on a jet, and they come through to crash the night and engage in all, various shenanigans and whatnot. And I can give you the characters. There's one girl who's a slut. There's one girl who's a wisecracking girl who's also a slut. There's one who's British and is a slut. There's one who's just a slut. And there's one like morally sound, the moral compass girl who is, probably a virgin, and she's our main character. And obviously, if you take those 5 girls, one of them's going to live. I'm pretty sure it doesn't take a rocket scientist to find out who is the one that's going to survive the movie. But with that being said, I didn't mind the characters. Honestly, I thought it was one of those things where I was like, all right, I mean, if we're watching a sleazy slasher, this is, I guess, exactly what I should expect. And it's just funny, like, having all these women, like, sitting in the room talking about boys and whatnot, and then Jennifer Runyon's character just doesn't fit in with them at all. Like, you would never think that girl would be chilling with them, Like, it's very weird. Like, they're like, oh, man, talking about all this stuff, and then she's just sitting there just like, I'm going to go to bed. I'm going to make a glass of tea. And, like, she has that high-pitched, like, goody two-shoes kind of speech. I'm just like, I'm sitting here, I'm like, there ain't no goddamn way this girl would stay, but I don't know, I guess it's a movie. We have some pretty fun kills, pretty fun dialogue in this one. You have a scene where this couple, they're having sex in the living room, and the killer is like hidden in the corner dressed as a knight, and he's got a bow and arrow and like shoots it through the guy's eye, like while they're having sex, and the girl just starts fucking freaking out. Bam, decapitation. Thought that was a pretty good sequence. There's also some like really like blasphemous kills in this movie too. Like there's a scene where these people are trying to escape on the jet, and they're yelling at each other, oh, turn the engine on, turn the engine on. The killer is just waiting in the cockpit flips on the fucking, jet engine, and they both get killed by it. And just you see all this gore splatter all over the place. I thought that one was pretty funny. There's a decent use of color in this film where that was my main thing. Like I was hoping this would be a colorful Christmas horror movie. And do you get a Black Christmas like Bob Clark did? Not really. You don't get the good atmosphere or style, but there are some color shots in this. And I actually used the thumbnail. There's a scene where they find a dead body and it's lit up like really this vibrant, bright red and magenta kind of color. And I thought that was visually really appealing. This movie, even though I like it, has a lot of flaws. Like I would say there are some scenes in this where I just absolutely scratched my head. There was a scene where these kids, they go out in the middle of the night and they're kind of, just talking and just getting waiting, to get picked off one by one. And you can clearly see it's the middle of the day and they try to do the day for night shots, like filming it during the day but trying to make it look like night. And on the copy I watched the HD copy of it. I think the Blu-ray is out of print, unfortunately. But man, it just looked so fucking poor. Like you could tell it was the middle of the day. And like this bitch was like, "Oh, I'm so cold out here, in the middle of the night." And I'm just like, "Bitch, it's the middle of the day." And you're also clearly in fucking California. That's where they shot this. There's palm trees and all that stuff. There's like really poor attempts at like fake snow at some points. Like this is one of those movies that I really think needed more money. I read an interview with David Hess where he only had like 70 grand to make this movie and they shot it in like 10 days. So definitely we're limited on the budgetary constraints. And that kind of stinks. That's unfortunate. However, I think that considering that, they were able to make a pretty fun, entertaining slasher movie with a pretty good pace. Like over maybe a half hour in, half of the cast is gone. They've all been picked off one by one by this killer. And I thought that was really a fresh kind of look because usually slasher movies they pace the kills out, like one every 20 minutes or one every 15 minutes. This movie, you literally have like the body count's at like 8 or 9 in the first half hour. And I really appreciated that because I didn't expect it. I'm like, all right, this girl will make it longer. That girl will make it longer. This guy will probably find a way to finagle his way to make it to the end and die. But no, like the first 20 to 30 minutes, you get most of the kills in the movie. And you're probably thinking to yourself, well, what the hell are they going to do to fill the remaining hour of this movie? And I don't know, man, you have some wacky ass characters. You have a crazy Ralph wannabe who's actually called Ralph in this movie. And he has these like garden shears and he's walking around the hallways, like trying to warn Jennifer Runyon's character. It's fucking comical, man. He's like, stay away from these kids. They're no good and all this shit. And like he mentions something at one point, he's like, stay by the plants. Plants are pure goodness. I'm like, yo, what the fuck is this gardener on, bro? This gardener is a crazy son of a bitch. And he's just walking around the hallways of a fucking sorority with garden shears. Like, I'll be like, bitch, I'm scared of you. Like, what do you do? Put the garden shears away, brother. Like, there ain't no goddamn reason. But I thought that was comical. There's also the main sorority house lady. She was a fucking riot. Like there's a point where she's sitting down, she's smoking, and they're like, "Oh, it's a shame you had to bury your husband around the holidays." And she's like, "Buried 3 husbands before. Once you bury one, it's a piece of cake." Like she's one of those classic like emphysema fucking old bitches who's buried 3 husbands. And I'm like, yo, I was fucking cracking up at this bitch. I don't know why. I thought it was pretty funny. But I think this one does leave a little bit to be desired in the atmosphere department. Like I would say that this is one of those movies that it desperately needed to be shot in a different location than Cali, right? Like I think if you shoot this in the dead of winter in Minnesota or something like that, like somewhere where it's actually snowing and you can really take advantage of the night scenes, right? Because this was shot in 10 days. This was beyond guerrilla filmmaking. We got to get this shit done. We have 10 days and 70 grand to burn. And it really does show. It's a shame because if they had the time, I bet you they could have shot more at night. If they had the location and the money to film elsewhere, they could have filmed elsewhere and they could have done some other stuff. I just think that it's like one of those movies where I'm watching it and I'm just like, damn, like those day for night shots, the lack of snow, the lack of the Christmas ornaments and colors and all this stuff that a movie like Black Christmas has. This movie's really, really lacking in that department. And it's a shame because I think there's a movie around this that really could have worked and been an all-time classic. With that being said, though, do I think this is a bad movie? In some ways, yeah, I guess so. But I mean, in other ways, I kind of enjoy this. I don't know. We got some comments. A man saying, "Damn it!" Yeah, sorry. I freaking I drank up all the nog. It's pretty much almost gone. Um, he should have returned the chair. Yeah, he walking around, dude. Yeah, guys, walking around garden shears. What the fuck, man? Knee Gores and Hazy. What's going on, good brother? Too sweet. Yo, cheers. It's eggnog time, yo. Hmm. Bro, I never get sick of the nog, man. I just want to be buried with like an eggnog and like just like right in the center, man. It's the only way to go out peacefully. Um, but dude, man, I hope all your music stuff's going well. I can't wait to hear some of that. I know Nigor has taken the time to focus on some music this month, so that's going to be badass. We're really looking forward to that. Yeah, that old lady, I believe, when I read in the interview, I'm not sure if this was this actress. She was David Hess's sister, so I thought that was pretty cool. We found a way to get his sister in there. And they also asked him like why he wasn't in the movie, and he was like, "Dude, we just didn't have time. Like maybe if we had a month to shoot, I would have had a cameo in there." But I don't know. I always would have liked to see David Hess maybe as the killer at the end of this. I thought that would have been really cool. Yes, sir. To all a good night. That's the best, baby. I think I'm starting to think I've seen this movie before. Well, I can get to the spoiler section here. Maybe it will refresh your memory a little bit. Yes, gotta have that nog, baby. I'm a huge fan of the nog. It's golden, bro. It's golden eggnog, bro. It's a little step above the silver and the bronze. It's like it's the shit, if you will. They hand it out only at the Olympics to one motherfucker, so it's badass. Um, so we can get a little bit into the spoiler section of this movie. So if you haven't seen this movie, you want to see this movie, I would say go check it out. It's on Amazon Prime for free. The transfer looks great. Unfortunately, I wanted to get my hands on the Blu-ray. I actually looked. It was crazy expensive. I'm not positive it's out of print, but like from what I could tell, you can only buy it from third-party sellers. So, it is what it is. But getting a little bit into the spoilers of this one, the movie opens the very first minute with a prank gone wrong. And you see this girl, she's being fucked with by these sorority sisters, and she falls off a balcony and dies. And it's a really, really bad dummy. Like you see a dummy fall off the balcony, eat shit in the pavement, and then we get our opening title credits. And right off the bat, and I'll tell you, the first time I saw this movie, I called the ending right. I'm like, so it's obviously going to be like somebody from her family getting vengeance for her for the prank gone wrong, right? Yes, that is the case. And if you know horror well, hell, you don't even have to know horror well. If you know in 1980, some of the famous horror movies that came out, Friday the 13th came out that same very year. And of course, has that same ending where at the end it is the grieving parent of Jason. And in this, it's the grieving parent of this girl who fell off the balcony. But there's a kind of nice little twist there where it's not just the mom, it's also the dad, and they're double killers. So, one is being the alibi for the other in the same similar fashion, just Scream, with Billy and Stu. And I thought that was interesting, but I will say that the finale, the third act of this film, it's kind of bland, man. It's kind of weak. It doesn't really have that oomph to it like Friday the 13th does. And I've heard a lot of people say the original Friday the 13th is weak or it just doesn't hold up. I beg to differ, man. You watch that ending, I think, to the original Friday the 13th, it still holds up. It still hits you in the feels, personally, for me. And whereas this one, man, it completely just misses the mark on going for that, like, kind of emotional statement of, oh, we're grieving parents and we wanted our vengeance and we're justified. That whole kind of charade. It just doesn't work here. It really, that to me was the biggest problem with this film was the ending. It was the first third of it, great. Like, great. I mean, fun kills, crazy dialogue, fun ass characters, a just goofy fucking overall tone, but a movie that was working and pacing itself well. The middle gets a little bit slower, but again, it's able to keep itself fresh. And then the ending, it just kind of just tapers off the last 30 minutes. You have Jennifer Runyon battle the killer a little bit. You have her like kind of like the guy that's interested in her who he just lost his virginity to the British slut. I mean, nothing to his character at all. He was funny. I thought he was pretty funny. He never acted again. I thought that was pretty crazy too. Jennifer Runyon doesn't really put up the biggest fight. Like there's a point where the killer comes towards her and you think, okay, there's going to be a struggle. there's not really a struggle. The killer kind of just walks forward and just remembers her daughter falling off the balcony, and then like the next thing you know, she falls off the balcony. So she dies almost via flashback. Like she fucking flashes back to it and like spaces out of the moment and then accidentally walks off the ledge, bam, hits the ground herself. Just I don't know. I don't know. I thought that was such a weak ending. Like to me, there's so much more of that Mama Voorhees and oh my god, with Alice, that character. There's such a better battle there. Those two going on and on. People say it goes on for too long, but at least there's that fucking payoff of bam, decapitation, bitch, and the hands coming up, and then of course Jason popping out of the water. There's a payoff there. Here, not really. The mother dies, then you find out the dad was in on it, and he's yelling at her, "I should have killed you first." When meanwhile we find out that Jennifer Runyon's character was innocent. She wasn't even at the sorority when the prank took place. So I'm like, you killed all the guilty parties. Like, what is the reason to go for her now? Like, you're going after the only person out of all of these people that actually had a moral compass, that actually wasn't, like lack of a better term, a slut. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it was very fucking strange. I just thought that was such a weird finale, a little bit messy with its finale. But overall, I think this one is definitely one that I will watch around the Christmas season every year. It's one that it's easy watch. It's an easy movie to get through. And it's one of those movies that, hey man, it's just a dumb, fun slasher. Turn off your brain, watch the shit on the screen. You're gonna get some sleaze. You get the classic formula, your boobs, your blood, your mayhem. You get all three of those things in this movie. I think the gore is actually pretty good. There's a scene where this guy and girl are making out under a mistletoe under a tree, and this guy lets down like rope and just strangles this guy to death and pulls him up. And dude, it's brutal. Like the gory spits out and all this stuff, and the girl watching. I thought that was the kill of the movie. That was right at the beginning of the third act. I thought that was a really, really cool kill. The design for the killer was cool, and I think in a lot of ways that even though some will say Friday the 13th, this was a rip-off Friday the 13th, keep in mind, this came out in January of 1980. This movie preceded Friday the 13th. So if anything, Friday the 13th may have or may not have taken a page out of here. However, I think the difference is it's never who does it first. Like people will tell you, oh, who did it first? Who did it first? Throw that shit out the window. It's who did it best. I don't care who did it first. I don't. Did you invent this? Oh, cool. Yeah, but this person did it the best. They invented it the best way and executed it the right way to perfection. And whether people think that original Friday the 13th film has aged poorly or not over time, the fact of the matter is we're still talking about the Friday the 13th movies to this very day. Not a lot of people talking about To All a Good Night. So it's one of those things where it's like I could see an argument for it, but at the same time, one is an all-time cult classic. The other one is one of those under the radar slashers that nobody ever really mentions. But I figured I wanted to touch on it on this show. I thought this was a fun one to kind of go back and rewatch. I enjoyed it. I thought it had a fun pace. I thought it had decent enough, silly over the top dialogue, stuff like that. I thought the kills were decent. The ones that we do see, the gore that we do get, it's fine. This one just lacked in atmosphere, lacked a little bit in the color department. I think this one really just needed more Christmas vibes. Like you don't get much Christmas vibes from this movie other than the Killer Santa. Like you just needed little things here, man. There really truly was a movie here that I think you could have saved and been like, this is a classic. Like we work around this, and that. This is a classic. However, I don't know. I guess maybe a soft spot in my heart for Mr. David Hess, just because I love him so much as an actor and as a person. I just thought he was the coolest guy ever. I think that's incredible that he was able to make a movie this good on a budget of $70K over 10 days. And literally they were living in this fucking house shooting day and night, and eating, like it's crazy to me how much he was able to accomplish. It's not an all-time classic. It's not. I'm not here to say it's a great movie. However, considering what he was given, I think it's actually a pretty fun movie. And I think it's one that everybody should at least give one watch. It's a movie that probably most people won't like, but for whatever reason, I had fun with it. Guilty pleasure. I'm going to come in at a righteous 6 out of 10 for To All a Good Night. A movie I enjoy, a movie that I will go back and rewatch probably every Christmas season. Just there's something about Christmas, like the absolute, just the most joyous holiday, and the mistletoes and ringing bells and giving, and it's not about receiving, it's about giving, and all this, joy to the world and all this stuff. And it's taking that twist, man, and turning it to a dark side, a darker place. And when those two things meet together, man, I just absolutely love that. I love when something so pure, innocent, and good meets something so evil, nasty, and bad. And when those two come together, man, you can get some really, really good movies. And Black Christmas is obviously the one. I think that the one I'm about to talk to you about next, Christmas Evil, is another Christmas classic. But I enjoy To All a Good Night. I'm definitely, I hope people give it a watch. If you do, let me know your ratings. Let me know what y'all think of it. My man Igor says, "Yep, it's about who did it best." It's 100%. That's exactly how it is, man. Like, I don't care if this movie in 1943 did a killer POV shot. Who did it best? Who made it famous? And it was Bob Clark in Black Christmas. I know. Well, Peeping Tom, Grande, Peeping Tom. Peeping Tom's a good movie too. But again, which movie's the cult classic? Which movie do people still fucking talk about to this day? It's Black Christmas. That's just kind of how I see it. Not to disrespect those other movies, but I do think that at the end of the day, there's something to be said about that. And I think that's kind of, just my 2 cents on the whole matter. AJ Zitro says 4.5 out of 10 for me. Probably would have been better with a group. Yeah, honestly, if I hadn't taken the day off of work and was in a good mood and everything, I don't know what I would have thought of it overall. Like, maybe I would have been more like, if I was in a poor mood or a bad mood when I watched it, maybe. But I don't know. I had some stupid fun with it. Like, there's some weird shit. Like, I remember there's this girl towards the end where the killer doesn't kill her. He scares her so bad that she fucking starts dancing and singing in a gown, and she's gone nuts. And that's the last thing you see of the film, is this bitch just dancing on a balcony as our final girl runs away. I'm just like, what? Like, it's fucking strange, man. There's just certain things in this movie where I'm like, what? Like, what? Why are you going here? Like, I don't know. But overall, I really, truly do enjoy that movie for what it is. A fun popcorn movie for me. Yeah, Neon Black Reviews. Let me know what you think. I would love to see your review of it, man. Also, would love to. I know you were saying you might review Halloween 2 sometime. I would love to watch that review for sure, man. But yes, that is To All a Good Night from 1980. Give it a whirl. 40 years old this year. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It's on Prime for free. Unfortunately, I could not find the Blu-ray for a reasonable price, so I skipped on it. But the transfer on Prime was fantastic. I will say that it was Blu-ray quality. It really did look fucking stunning. And maybe to its own detriment with all those day for night shots. Or I was just like watching it, and I'm like, it's not the nighttime. Like, they're not kidding me on that one. But I guess that can transition us into the next movie of the hour. This one also from 1980. This one turned 40 just last month. It celebrated its 40th anniversary, released in November of 1980. This is Lewis Jackson's You Better Watch Out, aka Christmas Evil from 1980. I'll be honest, I never really gave this movie a chance until just earlier this week. I had watched bits and pieces and decided this is not for me. And I heard a lot of people saying it's Taxi Driver. It's more like Taxi Driver. And for some reason that made me not want to see it. I was like, not really, not interested. However, I don't agree with those people who say, this is more like Taxi Driver. Right off the bat, I will say that. Don't think that going into this movie. I don't know why people say that. I don't get Taxi Driver vibe from this movie at all. Like, not one fucking bit, really, to be honest. I can read the plot synopsis and I can give some of my thoughts. Christmas Evil, a toy factory worker, mentally scarred as a child upon learning Santa Claus is not real, suffers a nervous breakdown after being belittled at work and embarks on a Yuletide killing spree. Oh, yes, this is Christmas Evil. I gotta say, I fucking loved this movie. And like, I was pretty fucking blown away because I honestly wasn't expecting too much from this. But man, I thought this was a fucking really good flick. You basically have the lead actor, I want to get his name right, Brandon McGart. I hope I'm pronouncing his name right. But Brandon McGart, right off the bat, his fucking performance in this is absolutely phenomenal, man. He is great as this, middle-aged gentleman who is obsessed with Santa Claus. He's absolutely obsessed with the holiday of Christmas. There are scenes where he looks out the window of his neighborhood and he has a list of his own, a naughty and a naughty and nice list where he's watching the kids in the neighborhood and writing down whether they're good or bad. There's one girl she's playing with her doll, and he says, I want to get her another doll this year for Christmas. And there's this one kid who's reading porno mags, and he's like, I'm gonna fucking bring this kid dirt on the naughty list. So I thought that right off the bat, that's a fucking interesting way to start up your film, where this motherfucker actually thinks he's Santa Claus, literally writing naughty and nice lists, and always watch, you better watch out. Santa Claus is always watching type of vibes. And I thought, what a creative thought. Like, what a cool way to start off a film. And I thought that was really cool. And you see this guy, he goes to work and they've promoted him, and he's one of those people that he's actually ashamed to be promoted because he liked being one of the boys. He liked being one of the people on the assembly line, just working in the factory. And I thought that was really cool too, because like, I know a lot of people, and personally, I'm probably one of them. I like being one of the boys, if you, for lack of a better term. Obviously, I know we live in politically correct times, but like, I just like being one of the crew, one of the gang, if you will. I guess that'd be a better way to put it. But and he gets those vibes too. He's like, I just want to be just like everybody else. I don't need my own fancy desk. I don't need a pay raise. I don't need this. I don't need that. I just need what my fucking job was, the normal 9 to 5 shift, maybe some PTO thrown in there, and just like that. Like that's I thought was really relatable. That blue collar element of this character I really related with, because I was just like, I've been there. I've been where you want this big raise, and you're gonna be all this hyped up and all this shit. It doesn't mean anything in the end of the day. You're getting a little bit more money and you're not doing the same shit. And he was ashamed of that. He wanted to keep being on the toy line and making toys because that's what fucking Santa would want to do, right? He'd want to make these toys to give to the youths of America and all the world for that matter. And I thought that was just such another thing that really makes this character an endearing one. I think this was a really endearing character. And as this film goes on, you see that there's this guy who took advantage of him. He said, "Can you work my shift tonight? I'm going, upstate with my wife for a few days. We want to leave tonight." And you see that the guy lied to him. He's in the bar talking shit about him, and he sees this walking home, and he's just distraught. He's absolutely just, I do something nice for somebody and they take advantage of me like that. Like, what a absolute piece of garbage that guy is. And you see this kind of slow, gradual descent into madness for this character, but it's not personal. It's one of those things where it's moral. And I thought that's what set this movie apart. And guys like John Waters put this movie over, and I love John Waters. I think that's what really sets this movie apart from even a movie like Taxi Driver. A lot of Taxi Driver, it is personal at times. To me, that movie does feel personal. The whole thing with Palantine and I'm going to assassinate him, that was personal from that personal interaction they have in the taxi. There's nothing personal here to me. I don't see any of that. I see it as this was a guy who believed in morals and naughty and nice, and he believed it in that there's not this or that. There's good and there's bad, and that's it. There's no other reason to make it any more complicated than that for him. And that just really got me going, that character motivation and drive, and running home and saying all these things on the naughty list. This scumbag, he'll get what he deserves and stuff like that. And there are points where he goes out and he's kind of playing peeping Tom and watching all these naughty kids hiding in the bushes and stuff. And I just love that stuff, man. It's crazy. And basically, this film kind of escalates to the point where our lead character dresses up as Santa Claus on Christmas Eve and not exactly goes on a killing spree, but he goes on a naughty and nice spree. So there's one point he visits a children's hospital after leaving this party where all these uppity executives were being nasty to him. They were like, "Oh, what are you doing in sales?" And he says, "Well, screw sales. Let's give all these toys to these, hospital of sick, mentally challenged kids. Like, why don't we think with our hearts instead of thinking with our wallets? And the two guys are just like, what? Like, what are you talking about? And he's just like, you have your fucking proteges and you're even worse than this fucking guy. You know why? Because you're greedy and because you don't have any morality with anything you think or do. You want to decide for your own goddamn pocket. And that's disgusting. And he leaves the party in a fit of rage. He steals all these toys, puts them in a sack, puts all the Santa suit, and he goes to the hospital himself and gives away the toys aimlessly. Everybody's hugging and kissing. Santa, thank you, Santa, to all good night. Drives off, and then next thing you see is he pulls up on this church where all these people are, from the party went after, and they're walking out. And he's standing there, and there are these people that start to taunt him and poke him, and oh, Santa this, Santa that. He takes a toy soldier and just stabs this guy right in the fucking eye, and it's I didn't slow it down. Like, it's one of those things that I didn't rewind it, and maybe upon rewinding it or slowing it down, it would look more fake. By the, just normal movie speed, that eye puncture was fucking brutal, and it looked absolutely real. You just get just a sick fluid motion of that, and a really, really good dark gore coming out of that guy's eye, and he kills like 3 people right in the middle of this entire mob. Jumps back in the car and drives away. And so again, you get what I'm saying with this nice list, naughty list, kind of playing with different sides, right? He rewarded the nice people, punished the naughty people. And then he goes and does the same thing. He goes to, this other place and does good deeds again. He gives all these kids these presents. It's this little party, and he's dancing with people, celebrating. And it's in that moment where he really is getting a taste for what it's like to be Santa. And like, there's a scene where he talks to these kids right before he leaves the party. He goes, you need to listen to your mothers and fathers. You need to not do poor things, and you need to not fall in with bad people. You need to be smart about what you do, and Santa will come every year and give you presents for being good boys and girls. And he walks out. And it's just like one of those things where I would never expect to see that in this movie when it started. I was like not expecting that movie where there'd be morals and, messages. But I thought it made this movie so much stronger than it would have been without it. I thought that was just so cool. He walked out, and then there's a scene where he goes to this guy who obviously he made him work the shift, and he fucking kills his ass, beats his, with a fucking like mini axe, and fucking kills this guy. Brutal death scene right next to his wife, who's in the bed next to him. And he throws the guy on the wife, and the wife gets hit so hard she can't even scream loud for help. And I thought that was like really realistic too. He sort of runs out, and he runs into this mob of angry people. They literally they light pitchforks, they're out for blood, right? And they're chasing him. He runs into his brother, and he's like, listen, like, this is the end for me, and I'm sorry. And the brother's like, listen, like, you gotta fucking be kidding. Like what is going on? Explain. And I thought that connection was really well done. Granted, the brother's briefly in the film, but I thought that stuff was all executed pretty well. Arlie gets back into the car. He's driving away from the angry mob, the police. We think he's veered off the road. Bam, crashes through a bridge. And all of a sudden, instead of hitting the ground and rock bottom, his van takes flight and flies in the sky. And the brother, the angry mob, everybody watching in amazement as this fucking van just vanishes off into the night and the movie ends. Absolute fucking insanity. Like, I watched it, was my jaw hit the ground, and I immediately hit the rewind button. I was like, wait, what? Like, did that motherfucker just fly off a bridge and then fly into the sky and then cut to black? Like, that's a pretty ballsy ending to your film. But I love it because it's so open to interpretation. And I'm sure Corey, Ben Grimm, I know you guys have seen this movie. I'm sure you guys have your own wonderful interpretations. I can give a few because I think there are a few that you could really play with here. One, first and foremost, being, did the guy actually become Santa? Like, is it in this moment where he did commit, even though he did commit all these murders at the end of the day, he did them with somehow the right morality and rewarding the children and gifting the children. And was it in this moment that bam, flying off into the sky, this was his moment of, you're Santa Claus now? Or is he really actually, has he become Santa Claus by the end of the film? And like, that's one of those things that I thought about only because of how good the actor is too. The actor, it's one of those performances in similar vein to Heath Ledger's The Joker and Johnny Depp as Captain Jack. When I say those two, those are two performances where I see the character, not the actor. And when I say that, I see the Joker in that movie. I don't watch that movie and go, oh, that's the guy from 10 Things I Hate About You. That's not Heath Ledger. That's the Joker. All right? That's him in the flesh. And with the Pirates of the Caribbean movies, that's not Johnny Depp. That's Captain fucking Jack. That's the character, man. And in this movie, Brandon McGart, I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing it. It's in this movie. It's as this one goes on where I'm like, that's not Brandon McGart. That's fucking Santa Claus. And that performance just absolutely blew me away. I thought, what a fantastic role for this guy to just absolutely nail it. From everything from the laugh to the tone to just the his eyes. His eyes just tell a really compelling fucking story where you're just like, I feel for this son of a bitch, even though he is committing crime and stuff like that. At the end of the day, you do get the vibe that his heart is in the right place. And I thought that if that's what they're trying to say by the ending of this film, what a note to end on, right? Like, I thought, what better note to end on? So that was one that totally, I thought about that actually for an entire day. Like, I was in a daze at work just being like, is this motherfucker Santa? Like, I was trying to figure it out, but I couldn't. I don't know. I was just like, man, like, what the fuck? But another thing is this his imagination? Is this a similar vein to maybe he did crash and burn, but maybe in his imagination, his dreams, his sense of wonder that all children have? And that's, again, one of those themes of Christmas, right? Like, when we all become adults, a part of our heart dies. That's the classic line from Breakfast Club. But it's in this movie where this guy, there's still a bit of that child in him. There's still a bit of that kid in him that at the beginning of the movie we see for a brief scene, and he's upset by, seeing mommy kiss Santa Claus or whatever. But it's that naive child that we can still see a little bit of a glimpse of. This may be a grown middle-aged man, but there's still a piece of that kid within him. And it's that kid that maybe when he did veer off the road, that dreamed of something more, that dreamed of flying in the sky as the film cuts to black. Maybe, just maybe, that is the ending of this movie. Maybe that's the interpretation. I don't know. Honestly, I don't even know if there is a concrete. Maybe I'm thinking too much about it. Maybe, I don't know, maybe this movie just caught me on an emotional fucking stage or emotional day. But I personally, man, I was just like, wow, like, what an absolute different Christmas horror movie. Like, we've seen Killer Santas and To All a Good Night and Silent Night, Deadly Night. We've seen fantastic, atmospheric, creep fest films like Black Christmas. But this one, it's all about, to me, the psychology and more importantly, the moralities of the holiday of Christmas and the line between good and bad, naughty or nice. I thought, what a great kind of way to look at it and tackle it. And transferring that into a horror film and making horror themes of that, it can be pretty horrific. There are some people out there maybe that could say the true horror of this movie are the pig bastard boss who's not wanting to give all these gifts to these mentally challenged kids in the hospital, who's thinking instead of himself and thinking instead of how he can line his pockets. That's the true horror of this movie in a lot of ways. It's those piece of shit people. And I just thought, like, hats off, man. Hats off to going for something so goddamn deep in a movie that on paper I thought was just going to be, again, another Santa slasher, which I like some Santa slashers. There's a ton of them I like. But I liked and appreciated that this movie was that much more, if that makes any sense. Like, I know some people will probably say this was a little bit sentimental, maybe a little bit too much psychology, morality, playing with those vibes, but I kind of appreciated it, to be honest. And when I saw that ending, I sat there for a minute. I rewinded it. I watched it again. And then I just like completely thought about it for the next day. I was like, yo, what happened there? And it was really fun to kind of have a movie end with my own interpretation. And I can think whatever I want to think now. That's the beauty of this. And maybe next time I watch it, I'll get a completely different vibe and stuff. That's the beauty of cinema, really good cinema. I could watch something and see something like that. And then I don't know, no one's mentioned in the comments. I know Corey is saying that I nailed the head, nailed the on the head. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. I don't know if anybody else had any other kind of interpretations that has seen the film, but I don't know, man. This one really, it just blew me away. I was like, wow, like what an interesting fucking final shot to end this movie on. And the entire ride to get there, I thought was really good. In a lot of ways, this is a drama. Like this is a drama in a lot of it. It has some horrific elements and stuff. Even has exploitation elements. And maybe that's why people say Taxi Driver, even though this is not an exploitation film. There's elements, but it's not. I just think this movie, it has so much going on, and I think people maybe expect one thing going in, which I know Neon Black Reviews, he did an excellent review on this movie. He was saying he was a little bit let down by it, which I can understand because it seemed more like it, over the years, how I had heard about it was, oh, it's another Santa slasher. And even the fucking poster is Santa going down the chimney with an axe. That's not this movie. Like, I don't think that poster matches this movie at all. Hell, I don't even think the director's preferred title, You Better Watch Out, I don't think that's a good title for this movie. I don't even know if Christmas Evil is the best name for this movie. Is it? Like, I don't know. I don't know if Christmas Evil would be the best title for this movie. Like, I don't know. Like, I guess there was some evil in it, but at the end of the day, I think it actually kind of has more of a like positive ending, like where I'm just like, huh. Like I just want to give one of those, huh, all right, fuck it. I'll go with it. Eggnog charge to that, man. Cause when I saw the ending of this, I was just like, shut up. Like, I was like, wow. But I don't know, man. I fucking enjoyed this one. I'm gonna probably come in with a pretty high rating here. I'm gonna come in with an 8.5 out of 10 for Christmas Evil. Thought Lewis Jackson did a great job directing. Thought the film had a decent enough atmosphere. Again, this one had a lot more money to work with than To All the Good Night, so definitely there's more money on the screen. The lead actor, I thought, gave a performance of a lifetime. I would love to see some more stuff that director did, because I thought, I'm sorry, that actor did, because I just thought his performance was just absolutely breathtaking. I was just like just completely in fucking shock too. Like I did not expect a performance that good. Like I thought the guy who played Potsy was decent in Don't Go in the House. This guy blows a performance like that out of the water just because there was so much emotion to it, and he really never goes over the top. He was able to really keep it here. And you can easily go here or here if there's not enough, there's too much, but he kept it really level, that happy medium. And I thought he gave just a wonderful performance. I gotta definitely just give this movie its props. John Waters, I know, has put this movie over. I really would like to get the Blu-ray of this, so I definitely will. I know there's a company that put it out. So, oh, someone's saying eggnog. I'll nod to that. Eggnog chars. Eggnog time, yo. Oh my God, that is so good, man. It's always great when you get more than you were expecting from a film. Exactly. Yeah, like, not to say that I don't like Christmas Santa slashers. I love them. But not knowing that going in, like nobody ever said to me coming in that, oh, this is not that. Like this, I heard it was like Taxi Driver and that Santa was going to kill people. That's all I heard. I didn't think you were going to have morality or emotion or a great performance. Like I didn't know any of that stuff was going to be in this movie. And when I saw it, I was like, well, damn. And then that fucking ending happens. And I'm like, wow. Like to me, it's very important that I was thinking about it the next day. Like it wasn't one of those movies that I watched, turned off, left my brain, and I'm like, oh, let me collect all the dots again before the show. It was one of those where I was like, I was thinking about it. Like you've accomplished something for sure. Aiden says, I'm going to check it out. Yo, eggnog charge to you, brother. Let me know what you think, because I would love to hear your thoughts, man. You got an awesome taste in horror goodness. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Eggnog charge. I love it. Oh my god, dude, this nog, yeah, it's pretty much gone at this point, but I don't know. I thoroughly enjoyed that nog. But yeah, so 8.5 out of 10 for Christmas Evil, and I would come in at the righteous score of a 6 for To All Goodnight. Both these movies turned 40 years old this year. Crazy, absolutely insane. I can't believe that, uh, just kind of by coincidence. But I wanted to do like two every week, if not maybe even more. Like next week, I want to do P2 and I want to do The Lodge. Those are the two I want to do next week. Then I'm thinking Black Christmas remake in the third week of December with Don. Don Knight's going to come on for that show from the old FHMP days. And then on probably my birthday week, I'll do a live commentary of Silent Night, Deadly Night 2. I figured that would be a fun way to kind of round out December. So I don't know if you all are cool with that or what. If anyone has any Christmas movie suggestions too, I'm all ears. I don't know if I'll definitely review them or not, but I definitely would take suggestions. And also one thing I guess I could figure, because I guess we'll wrap this a little bit earlier than usual. I was thinking at the start of the new year, there's this awesome YouTuber. His name's Mood616. And Mood616 just like his stuff is fantastic. He does this podcast. I don't know if it's every month or every other month, but they do a great show over there, man. Moods is the man. He has a great taste in horror. But he did this series a few years back, and it was called 52 Weeks in Horror, where he picked a week and I'm sorry, he picked a year in the history of horror, and then every week reviewed one movie from that year. The first year he picked 53 horror movies from the year 1981, and whichever one he didn't review, he did a contest like halfway through, where whichever one he didn't review, someone would win a prize or something like that. I would be so down to do that. And people would be like, well, how was it not fixed? Basically, what he did was he put all the movies into a randomizer.com, and you hit that random button, and whatever movie comes up at the top is the movie you have to review. And whichever movie, and then you take that movie out and then keep doing it until you get to the last week of the year where there should be only one movie left. Maybe about with 20 weeks left, I would do the contest. Guess one of these 21 movies will not be discussed. I thought that would be really cool. Not to rip him off either. Like I'm not trying to rip anybody off, but it's just something I figured I'd ask the people in the chat if you guys would be interested in me doing something like that, like a one review. It wouldn't be a graveyard episode. It'd be like an 8 to 10 minute review of one of those movies from one of those years. I'd pick a year from the 80s, 90s, 70s, whatever. Hell, it could even be the 2000s. It wouldn't matter to me. I'd be down with any of that. So if anybody would be cool with that, I would be down. I would also listen to all your suggestions, stuff like that. So Nigor and Aiden says, noise. I appreciate it. You got to do Black Christmas 2019, bro. Don't break my heart. It is free on demand. I may just have to. I don't know. Don's not gonna. Don is gonna be like, fuck no. I'm definitely going to review the 06 film. I want to review the 06 film because I've noticed that movie's garnered such a fucking cult following. It's actually astounding to me. Like I see every fucking day on Instagram, people going, the best horror remake of all, Black Christmas. I'm like, really? Like, I'm kind of flabbergasted by that. I don't think it's the worst movie, the 06 Black Christmas, but I don't know, best movie? Best horror remake? I don't agree with that, but I don't know. I don't know. I definitely will review that one though. Moods is badass. Yeah, man, I'm a huge fan of Moods. I think Moods is great, man. He did Top 10 Tuesdays, man. He does some great ideas. I figured that would be fun though, like to just kind of do a review every week and stuff like that. I figured it would be something interesting, something different to do. Yeah, Moods is the man. Shout out to Moods. I don't know if he'll ever watch this, but I definitely, we love Moods. Thank you, man, Ben Graham. I feel like that would be a really fun to do. Yeah, Moods is the best. Neon Black Reviews down for it. Hell yeah. All right. And Jack Frost. Oh hell yeah. I gotta watch Jack Frost. Do it, please. Hell yeah. Good luck with if you watch that 2019 remake. Oh yeah, I don't know. I'm definitely Corey. I promise we're gonna do the first two definitely. If you want though, if for you, I will fucking watch the 2019 film. But can't lie. I'm probably going to spread my ass cheeks and take a big ass shit on it. All right. Because I hate that 2019 movie. The '06 movie, it's grown on me for sure. The '06 movie has grown on me. We will definitely, me and Don are going to go in depth because I'm going to watch those two back to back. Arthur Bremer's in it. There's my sexy graveyard keeper here. But in the flesh, baby. Oh, well, since Arthur's brand new to the show right now, just entered the chat. Eggnog Chars, yo. Arthur, I don't know if you were with us earlier, but we were drinking some golden eggnog tonight. Limited edition, all right, from the hood, if you will. I don't always drink eggnog, but when I do, it's from hood, bro. I am a huge hood guy. But yeah, man, this eggnog is fucking golden. It's delicious and it's pretty magical. Like I'm not even gonna lie. Aiden has never seen the '06 remake of Black Christmas. Fun fact: the Blu-ray is out of print and it goes for over $300 from third-party sellers, if not more. That is one of the most. It has to be. If anyone can name a more expensive out-of-print Blu-ray for just one movie, not like the Hellraiser, Scarlet's. Wasn't it called the Scarlet box set or something from Arrow? I know that the Region 1 is out of print. That goes for like $150, $200. That's 3 films. The Black Christmas remake from '06 is actually out of print on Blu-ray, and it goes for like $300 plus. That's fucking crazy. I recommend if you want to watch it, it's free on YouTube. I'm pretty sure it's the uncut movie. No one's ever told me otherwise. That's the only way I could watch it. I don't have the DVD of it, and I'm not paying $320 for a fucking Blu-ray. Even though that movie would really benefit from a Blu-ray. I think that movie would look fucking great. That's one that somebody should get their hands on, whether it's Shout Factory or Severin or, Vinegar Syndrome, any of those. I think one of those places should definitely get a hand on that Blu-ray, man, because like that's fucking one that needs, because the amount of fucking people that love it, it's pretty astounding to me. Like, I didn't know that movie had the cult following that it did. Like, it's crazy. Alrighty, I'm game. Awesome. Are you kidding me? Oh shit, Neon Black Reviews has it. Bro, I shit you not. You can easily get $250 for that, right? Like if you put on eBay for $250, or if you did like a bidding war, holy shit, man, you'd make stupid money. The '06 remake was just to clarify. I don't know. I thought I did, but yeah, the '06. If you're the 2019 remake, I wouldn't give you a penny for it. Okay, I would actually probably take it and destroy it or do an exorcism on it. But I don't even know if that would work, brother. I don't know. But yeah, if you own Black Christmas '06 on Blue, that son of a bitch goes for every fucking dollar you have in your pocket. You have to mortgage your house to get that son of a bitch, man. Like that's just, it's crazy. Just got here. My eggnog has to be non-alcoholic. Well, good brother, I don't drink alcohol either, man. This is the beauty of hood, man. No alcohol in this son of a bitch. Just good old-fashioned golden nog, man. And I don't drink it all either. So I'm strictly Mountain Dew. If you can't tell by the pajama pants players. But yeah, no, I don't drink either. I don't drink alcohol either. So charge to eggnogs, Arthur. Hopefully, I'll be drinking eggnog on every Graveyard episode this year. So, or this season, I should say. So if you want to join us one night to have some eggnog, you're more than welcome. Yeah, I'm shocked. It is pretty fucking shocking. Worth every penny. Yeah. Oh, so do you have it too? Maybe Ben Grimm has it as well. I don't know. I don't own the. Good for you. That's a good thing, man. You do not want to spend any money on that. '06 remake. You can get bread for that, man. I don't know if you're a fan. I would want. I don't know if you reviewed that. Have you reviewed that one? If you have, when we end, or send me the link on here if you can, because I would love to watch a review of that. But if not, that blue, man, you get stupid money for it. So I don't know. If you're not a fan of the movie, I would sell that shit in a heartbeat to somebody who will pay crazy money for it. Bleeding Statues. That is all. Oh, God. Imogen Poots. That's all I have to say. That is all. Mr. Negor, Imogen Poots, all right? And Carrie Elways from fucking Saw. Oh, God. No, I don't know. I mean, there are a few ways you can trigger my dumb ass, but that movie's one of them. That movie, even, this is the thing with that Black Christmas movie. Even fucking women hate it. It was purposely made for like the Me Too and all that stuff, and they even hate it. They'll even tell you that it's a piece of shit. You failed then. You fucking failed. If your target audience outwardly hated the film, you failed. You can go, it wasn't made for you, Grande. I'm fucking woman. Hear me wrong. fuck you, first of all. Second of all, I can, if I fucking pay my money, I can give whatever 2 cents or opinion I want on a movie. That's what I could do. I paid my ticket. I ain't shitting on anybody because of this, that, or the other. If your movie's good, I'll put it over. I just put over fucking To All Goodnight. Sleazy slasher from the 80s. The under the radar slasher that probably nobody would like. I even got enjoyment out of that. Black Christmas 2019, though, man. Terrible. Terrible fucking movie. But if Nigor wants, we're gonna do a Black Christmas episode, me and Don. So if we do those other two, I will watch the third one for Need Gore, and maybe Don will too. I don't know. I'll ask Don, but I have a feeling Don's going to go no, which I could not blame him, man, because that shit, man, that's pretty bad. Oh, man. I'm sorry. The nog is just too good tonight. It's too sweet, if you will. Alrighty, though, we're over the hour mark. I don't know, and my comments haven't been loading as quickly as they usually do tonight. I don't know, like I seem to be getting them like all in giant spurts. But I guess we could wrap the show there, unless there's anybody else. I could check my phone to see, because my phone will load the comments faster if we have any more comments here. But this was a fun ass show, man. I want to thank everybody for joining. Quickly, I'll just check the chat, make sure I'm not ignoring anybody here. Let's see. Yeah, you may as well dookie on it with a friend. Yeah, see, that didn't load until I uploaded it here. I would be more than happy to take a crap on it. So maybe we will. Maybe just maybe we will. Next week's going to be P2 in the Lodge. Also, somebody mentioned Jack Frost. They want me to watch Jack Frost. So maybe I will. If I watch it for next week, I'll throw Jack Frost in the mix. Maybe we'll do 3 fun-ass Christmas horror movies back to back to back, if you will. So that's going to be all Gucci Poochie. So that's going to be all for the night. Thank you all for joining. This was a really, really fun show. Love talking all things December horror. Loved unboxing Funny Games from Criterion. That was really, really fun. Awesome gift. I can't wait to get to watch the features on that. Had a blast drinking eggnog with all y'all. Thank you all for joining. This was a really, really fun show. If you all check out the movies I talked about tonight, comment below. Let me know what you thought of them. If you want to give a rating, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, I would very much appreciate it. So yeah, like that. So everybody have a wonderful rest of your weekend. Keep it creepy, keep it too sweet, stay safe, stay smart, and let me know if you're getting your December horror on, because I will be all month. So we will catch y'all next time only on the Graveyard. Too sweet, guys. Peace.